Ladies and gentlemen, your main friendly white neighborhood Zionist colonizer, or as we've termed this week, we've coined the term Zionizer. To all the traveling class coming to you live from the white Zionist capital of colonization, the United States of America. I'm here on tour talking and speaking to people, and I got white colonizer merch you can check out in the description below at thetravelingcloud.com. Let's take a look at this clip from the UN.
I now give the floor to a representative of United Nations Watch.
Thank you, Mr. President. 6 decades ago,
King.
in the aftermath of the Nazi horrors, Eleanor Roosevelt, René Cassin, and other eminent figures gathered here on the banks of Lake Geneva to reaffirm the principle of human dignity. They created the Commission on Human Rights. Today we ask, what has become of this noble dream? In this session, we see the answer. Faced with compelling reports from around the world of torture, persecution, and violence against women, what has this council pronounced? What has it decided? Nothing. Its response has been silence. Its response has been indifference. Its response has been criminal. One might say, in Harry Truman's words, that this has become a do-nothing, good-for-nothing council. But that would be inaccurate. This council has, after all, done something. It has enacted one resolution after another, condemning one single state, Israel, in 8 pronouncements, and there will be 3 more this session. Hamas and Hezbollah have been granted impunity. The entire rest of the world, millions upon millions of victims in 191 countries, continue to go ignored. So yes, this council has done something. And the Middle East dictators who orchestrate this campaign will tell you it is a very good thing, and that they seek to protect human rights, Palestinian rights. So too, the racist murderers of Darfur women, the rapists of Darfur women, tell us they care about the rights of Palestinian women. The occupiers of Tibet care about the occupied, and the butchers of Muslims in Chechnya care about Muslims. But do these self-proclaimed defenders truly care about Palestinian rights? Let us consider the past few months. More than 130 Palestinians were killed by Palestinian forces. This is 3 times the combined total that were the pretext for calling special sessions in July and November. Yet the champions of Palestinian rights, Ahmadinejad, Assad, Gaddafi, John Dugard, say nothing. Little 3-year-old boy Salam Balusha and his 2 brothers were murdered in their car by Prime Minister Haniyeh's troops. Why has this council chosen silence? Because Israel could not be blamed. Because, in truth, the despots who run this council couldn't care less about Palestinians or about any human rights. They seek to demonize Israeli democracy, to delegitimize the Jewish state, to scapegoat the Jewish people. They also seek something else, to distort and pervert the very language and idea of human rights. You ask, what has become of the founder's dream, of Eleanor Roosevelt, of René Cassin, of John Humphrey, P.C. Chang, Charles Malik, who assembled here in Geneva 60 years ago? Mr. President, with terrible lies and moral inversion, this council is turning that dream into a nightmare. Thank you, Mr. President.
Por primera vez.
For the first time in the session, I will not express thanks for that statement. I shall point out to the distinguished representative of the organization that just spoke, the distinguished representative of United Nations Watch. If you'd kindly listen to me, I am sorry that I'm not in a position to thank you for your statement. I should mention that I will not tolerate any similar statements in the council. The way in which members of this council were referred to, and indeed the way in which the council itself was referred to, all of this is inadmissible. In the memory of the persons that you referred to, founders of the Human Rights Commission, and for the good of human rights, I would urge you in any future statements to observe some minimum proper conduct and language. Otherwise, any statement you make in similar tones to those used today will be taken out of the records.
Why? Because he's right? Why? Because he called you on your shit? Is that why? I'm gonna make a plea right now. Hillel Neur, get me on there, bro. Get me on there, dude. I memorized all the stats. I know exactly how many people have been killed in the Middle East in the last 20 years. I've had to memorize it. I listed down for you right now off the top of the dome. 380,000 in Lebanon, 380,000 in Yemen, 500,000 in Syria, 580,000 in Somalia, 50,000 in Sudan since the beginning of 2024, and the list goes on and on. You want more? 4 million in the Congo in the last 4 years, and in Ethiopia in the last 4 years, it's about 680,000. I got it all on the dome. Bring me to the UN, put some brown color up in their faces, and let a Mizrahi Jew handle it for a moment. Because I will destroy them. Let me take a crack at it. I got such a good speech in mind for these people. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, can we spam Hillel Neur real quick and get my name in front of him? I don't care where you do it. Twitter, Instagram. Don't be annoying, obviously. But let him know about your boy. We've been working hard. You know, we're getting thousands of views on here. We're an unmatched voice in the space right now. Let's see if we can make something happen. We should be able to communicate this message that we talk here on YouTube to the wider world. We should have the opportunity. And I can do it off the dome without a script. I don't need a script. I can memorize my lines. I'm not going to read it like a paper. I'm going to look them in the eyes, and I'm going to tell them exactly like Hillel told them how they are failures to humanity, failure to our people, failure to ethnic minorities all across the Middle East and North Africa. Hillel Neur gets from me nothing but praise and claps. This is one of my biggest inspirations in this space, and he's been since I was a young boy. I remember seeing his speeches, you know, his speech about where are your Jews, which I don't know if I've done a reaction to yet, but we might do it in the future. This man has been an inspiration to me for a long, long, long time. And I think that UN Watch is literally one of the most important organizations we could ever expect to have on this planet. The fact that there's one organization that's keeping the UN in check, with just one, and you see how they react. We won't tolerate this kind of behavior. Fuck you. What do you mean you won't tolerate this kind of behavior? The fact that you guys are in bed with terrorists, that's what you don't want to tolerate? Okay, so stop being in bed with terrorists. You have a problem, stop being in bed with terrorists. Of course you're bringing shame to the UN. You guys are all shameful. You guys funded the October 7th massacre. You funded Hezbollah to launch rockets into Israel. You literally created a new Middle Eastern conflict because of your inaction. Because of it's more than just inaction. You funded it. You let Iran, the Islamic regime of Iran, sit on your Human Rights Council. For fuck's sake, there needs to be some limits. How is North Korea involved in the UN? How? You guys are a bunch of jokesters. This whole thing's a joke. It's kangaroo court. It's monkey town. So anyways, shout out to Hillel. He is one of the best. One of the best there is. Very big inspiration. Very big fan of his work. And I hope you guys help me get my name in front of him. Let's do it, guys. Let's go for gold. Get the traveling clat to the UN. Imagine if we're able to pull that off. Imagine if somebody like me was able to speak to the UN. Maybe we'll build up to that point, but we should get it done. We got to get it done. I love you guys a long time. I'll see you in the next one. Support the channel by buying some White Colonizer merch, and I'll see you then. Goodbye, clats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.